I did another haul. Oops. Hello and welcome back to Cuckoo for Books. My name is Salva and today I'm going to be doing my National Bookstore 2018 cut price haul. National Bookstore is having its annual cut price sale and I think it extends to November 4? I believe it's in all branches, but pro tip, check out the one in SM Mega Mall if you guys are near because their selection is crazy. Do not check out the one in Ayala the 30th. That's a really sad selection. I thought I'd dress up like the paper bag, so you know, red and brown. Do we look alike? Who wore it better? Better be me. I went to National Bookstore to look for a Halloween costume and then I tripped and fell on the books. So the first book I got was, of course, What If It's Us by Becky Albertalli and Adam Silvera. I bought this in preparation for their book signing here in the Philippines on November 11th. Everyone on Twitter, they've all been raving about this book. It's an LGBT novel. It's about two guys, Arthur and Ben, who run into each other. From what I hear on Twitter, these two characters are lovable beans and you just are gonna fall in love with them. I'm excited to read this. I'm hoping I can finish it before November 11th. From the praise it's been getting, I'm sure it's gonna be great. The next book I got was Lauren Oliver's Broken Things, and Lauren Oliver has always been a sort of hit and miss author with me. I really liked the first novel of her Delirium series. I did not like the sequels, and then I read Panic, which was her standalone contemporary, and that was just fine for me. I thought I had let Lauren Oliver go a long time ago, but then I read the premise of this novel, and it just sounded too good to pass up. From reading the back, it sounds like a sort of Slender Man-esque retelling where they get obsessed with this mythological thing. They go into the woods to find it, then one of them gets murdered and the people assume that the two other best friends did it, but they're actually innocent, and then they do a flash forward into the future and then that typical they've moved on but something keeps calling them back. So I'm hoping that I'll fall in love with this novel of Lauren Oliver's as much as I fell in love with her first Delirium novel, and that it's not gonna turn out to be like the sequels, which I really didn't like. The next book I got was a book that I've been wanting to read for the longest time, and it is Dividing Eden by Joelle Charbonneau. I love fantasy, I love Heirs to the Throne series, and I also love twins as a plot point in novels, but what intrigues me even more are boy-girl twins. This is about a pair of boy-girl twins, and suddenly now they're next in line for the throne, so they undergo this thing called the Trial of Succession. This already has a sequel out. It's been staring at me from bookshelves of bookstores for the longest time, and I was like, you know what? It's on sale. I think now might be the time to finally pick it up, so that's what I did. The next book I got is Strange the Dreamer by Laini Taylor. This book captured my attention for a lot of reasons. It's fantasy, the protagonist is a guy, which I feel like I need to read more of. I need to branch out more into male protagonists in fantasy or in YA in general. I don't know how to describe it, so I'm just gonna read off the synopsis. Since he was 5 years old, he's been obsessed with a mythic lost of Weep. What happened in Weep 200 years ago to cut it off from the rest of the world? So I'm guessing he goes on a quest to find Weep. I really like the cover. I think it's the perfect blend of like basic and simple, but yet with a touch of whimsy to it. I'm super excited for this next book. It's Royals by Rachel Hawkins. I bought this solely off of I love the author's tweets. Her first book that I read was Rebel Belle, which I really enjoyed, but again, her sequels, just like Lauren Oliver, just did not match up to my expectations. And then I recently discovered her Twitter again, and she does this thing called Naughty History, I think is the name of the hashtag, where she basically recounts historical events but puts her own twist to it. She tries to like adapt the millennial language and add GIFs and all that, and it's freaking hilarious. And when I found out that she actually has a book called Royals, it's a typical like Prince meets Pauper, Prince falls in love with Pauper stories, but I'm really excited to see the twist that Rachel Hawkins gives on it. I also picked up The Wicked Deep by Shea Earnshaw. So this was a book that I bought solely on the recommendation of Heather from Bookables. She mentioned this in her, I believe it was her spooky book tag. I will leave a link down below to it. The premise just got me really intrigued. Girls were burned for witchcraft eons ago, and they come back to life every year to possess bodies of 3 girls who are currently alive and carry on their witchy business. And I was like, oh, that sounds like a cool book, and then put it on the back of my mind. And then another booktuber, Thoughts on Tomes, posted a review of it, and I was like, is this book trying to hint that I should read it soon? Because it's like dropping hints all over. And then I saw it at the book sale, and it was the last copy left, and I was like, this book is definitely calling out to me, so I think I should get it. So to round out the book haul, I bought 4 books by by Filipino authors or half Filipino authors who have found success in the international market and in YA in general. I did purchase one hardcover throughout this entire haul, but it was only so I could have a matching set, guys. It is Love and War, an Alex and Eliza story by Melissa de la Cruz. If you are a fan of Hamilton or US history, I guess. This is a YA retelling of Alexander Hamilton and Eliza Schuyler's love story. I have yet to read the first Alex and Eliza novel. It's staring at me right now. I can see it looking at me and trying to guilt me into reading it. I love Melissa de la Cruz's books. What entertains me so much about her is that she writes either really raunchy, saucy YA, or she writes for middle grade. Like, there is no in between. I don't know how she does it or how she compartmentalizes, but I'm really excited to see if this falls in between or if this goes into the raunchy territory or in the middle grade. Ah! It hates me. Or in the middle grade section. The next book I got is The Star-Touched Queen by Roshni Chokshi. I think from the summary, it's not a European-based fantasy. Everyone talks about it, how we need more non-English type fantasy. Really excited to start this. I know everybody has been raving about this. Fun fact, I went to Y'all West almost 2 years ago, and I did meet her. Somebody I was with was friends with her, and she was really nice, and I tried to get her to come to the Philippines. She was wearing a blouse that I had, so I felt like this connection with her. And so when I saw it, I was like, let's further that connection by actually reading her books, shall we? The next book I got was Empress of 1,000 Skies by Rhoda Beleza. This is a sci-fi fantasy novel, aside from Illuminae by J. Kristoff and Amy Kaufman and Across the Universe by Beth Revis. I haven't read a lot of sci-fi novels, so I thought this was a way to branch out my reading experience and at the same time supporting diverse authors. The last book I got that was also by a Filipino author is The Bone Witch by Rin Chupeco. That is a gorgeous cover. It's purple and gold. I love purple and gold. Another book that I bought because the author's tweets are just so dang entertaining and insightful. It's about a girl who is a necromancer, aka she can raise people from the dead. She also wrote a novel called The Girl from the Well. It's on my TBR list. Do you think I'm brave enough to read something called The Girl from the Well? I am not. I made it 2 pages and then I shut the book and I was like, how am I ever gonna read this? It looks freaking interesting, but from what I've read, she can handle horror very well, so I'm really excited to see what she does in this novel. With those last 4 Filipino authors, that is my entire haul. It's okay, you can judge me in the comments. I'm gonna read all this. It could take me 5 years to read them, but I will read them eventually. Like, look, I take care of my babies, don't I? Look at them. They're so pretty in the background. And that about does it for my National Bookstore 2018 cut price haul. Leave a comment down below if you've read any of these books and you're like, dude, out of all these books, you should start reading this one first. You can follow me on my other bookish adventures on Twitter and Instagram, both at Cuckoo for Books. Please subscribe and I will see you guys very soon. In fact, I will see you guys on Wednesday because Halloween and I'm doing something Halloween themed. So I will see you guys then. Bye guys!